Hey everybody on the A list. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new to my channel, if you've been here all along, thank you for coming back. You really ride for me. I fucking love that. This is my first ever story time, and this story time is gonna be on the time a dude spilled tea on me. He ain't apologized, and it was on my uniform too. And this happened in high school, by the way, if you just want to know like the date and what time and whatnot. I'm gonna be doing this and talking while I repair some of my twists in my hair because some of them be coming undone when like I be rough, like not only putting on clothes but like putting on my backpack as well. It just be rubbing against the twist and be making them come undone. I didn't put them in hot water like I should have. Um, I should have recommended that to my sister. I don't know why I ain't. Okay, I found a twist to repair. Now we're gonna do a backstory. It ranges all the way back to like when I was in elementary school. It was during a time where I was so shy and like I was so like upset that I like had to move and whatnot that I basically didn't tell much of anybody that I was moving. I was already in the car rider line and whatnot. I was a car rider. I got in my car and they were waving, being like, see you back next year. My window was conveniently down. And then my friend was just like, yeah, she's not coming back next year. And their smile went from like to like, and I was like upset. I was just like, oh my, I was waving, smiling still. I was gonna cry. I was just like, oh no. But what this got to do with anything? That's how I was normally. I was shy. I was awkward. I had a lot of anxiety. I didn't know what it was. But then I moved and I made some friends. And by the end of the year, fifth grade and whatnot, I had made one friend. It was a dude. What we gonna name him? What we gonna name him? This is random. We gonna name him Shock because how he behaved towards me shocked the hell out of me. Okay, so Shock and I were great friends in that like he was a nerd, I was a nerd too. He was into things like certain cartoons and certain like things that weren't anime but really were kind of like the Byakugan challenges, whatnot, Digimon, all that. And I was into those things as well too. We vibed. There would be times at the elementary school to where we had special things where if we were good enough, we get to go to separate tables and whatnot and just hang out with one of our close friends or best friends all by ourselves and just talk among them. So a lot of times when it was my turn for it, I would usually call him over there, and a lot of times, like sometimes, I would want to say a lot of times he would call me over there. We'd just be talking and whatnot, or another friend as well. So it was really cool. And then going into middle school, like this is when I was tripping. I'm not even gonna lie, I was tripping during then. And so like, um, throughout a lot of times we got even closer as friends, and that was when I was playing a lot too. I was just like, oh my gosh, I like him, but I still viewed him as a brother, if you get what I mean, like we were close to where like we were like brother and sister in a way, or that's how I felt. But like I liked him more than that. Like I kept noticing, I was just like, dang, I like him more than that though. I realized as I got older, I ain't crush on him like that. Like I ain't crush on him like as much as I crush on some people now. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't crush on him like that. I made newer friends sixth grade year, and a lot of our friends were connected. Sorry, that was the air. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I turned off my air. So fast forwarding to seventh grade is when I started noticing that a lot of my friends were going through some things with like, not only their emotions and whatnot, but with their families as well. A lot of them just had like, troubled homes, and if not just like, even problems with siblings and whatnot. Now me not I couldn't relate to it. Basically, I didn't grow up like that. Like, yeah, I had fights with my siblings and whatnot, but it was never like to the point to where I would come home, or no, not come home, come to the school and was just all up in arms about stuff like that. Like not as oftenly it happened with them, and with a lot of times I just couldn't relate. And honestly, me being a dumbass kid, it's just like some things I would say they wouldn't be as cool to say. Like I'm not gonna mention too many other things, but like yeah, what they gotta do with this, basically, I wanted to go over to his house, right? I wanted to go over to his house, and he even asked me to come over. I didn't have his like number and whatnot. My mother was more strict back then, so she was just like, "Oh no." Seventh grade, I had a phone, and I realized for someone I really like liked and crushed on, I never asked for his number, and I was just like, that is so weird. This was around the time where he was going through something really bad with his family, to where his other best friend, that was also our friend, knew about it, and I was just like, damn, I didn't know shit. Like, oh my gosh. And I had to learn through my like new best friend in eighth grade, which I'm gonna tell you about later, that why he did that and whatnot. But this is around the time where I kept hearing more and more stuff when it comes to his personality and about him. kind of like he was edgy in a sense. Like he was very depressed. And I like knew he was sad a lot. It's just that the concept of depression I never got. So he was, they were saying he was depressed. They were saying he's self-centered, and they were saying he was a bit rude. And I was just like, no the fuck he not. I was just like, I didn't say that to them in person, but I thought in my head, I was just like, no the fuck he not. Like, who the fuck is this? Like, who are you to be saying that he is like this? Like, who are you? But yeah, I'm looking through strands of my hair. Yeah, I was too nice back then. I wouldn't have ever said that back then in middle school, so I thought I was very nice. That's another story time for another day and whatnot. So yeah. So I kept hearing stuff. Fast forwarded to 8th grade. This is when I started getting my new friends. Some of them were through one friend, some of them were through other friends. I got one of my friends. What am I gonna call her? Ooh, we're gonna call her Lit. I met Lit through my best friend T, and then I met SM through Lit and whatnot. So yeah, SM and me were getting very close. I was already close to Lit, and I was very close to T as well. So they were already like my friends, or were becoming my friends and whatnot. And that was during like PE, where, not gonna lie, 8th grade, bitch, I was on my villain journey. Like, I dead ass wanted revenge. I was in a terrible ass war with I'm laughing because looking back at it now, I was so fucking stupid. But that's another story time for another day. If I do these story times, they go well and whatnot. So yeah, I was just going through an emotional roller coaster. I was very nice, naive, and gullible, and then I was like mean as fuck during this year. So child, anyways, like I had bad mood swings, but I would never try to act like this with Shock. And like sometimes I would act like that with T, but then I'll try not to as well. With SM and Lit, like it was, they saw the worst of it, and they didn't even know the full story of what was going on because I wasn't willing to tell anybody. But anyways, this was the year where I saw Shock the least. Like I saw his best friend more. We're gonna name him B. I saw B more than anything. That's when B and me were getting very close and very friendly and whatnot. Now with after the mood swings and whatnot, SM and I got real close to where I would tell her like, hey, you know, I like Shock. And so she was very close with Shock too. They were talking, but they were talking about their depression and the like connecting with like how difficult their family homes were. She was one of them that was letting me know how he really was. He was the only one that didn't want to let me know how bad things were. And I didn't know why until years later where I found out like I was naive. I could not relate to anything they were struggling with, you know, whether it was like parents who were borderline abusive in a way, you know, not, or neglectful and whatnot, siblings who didn't like them or whatnot. Like that's the thing, they had those things, not saying like specifically SM and Shock, but just a lot of my friends back then in general, they had those things that I never had, so I couldn't relate to any of them. And so a lot of times I would just be blank stare when they would, like I looked like I was about to cry basically because they would tell me about it, and I'd be like, oh my gosh. And I'm laughing now because like, damn, why didn't I react? I would have reacted differently now than then, but that's the whole thing. Throughout 8th grade, middle school and whatnot, SM told Shock like 3 different times that I liked him because I would ask her to tell him and whatnot. And there was one time he sat down with me. It was just like, so you like me? And then I was looking dead ass forward. Like I was standing at attention and I couldn't look left to right. I could only move my eyes. So I was just like, who told you that? And Shock was just like, SM told me. I was just like, oh. And I was just looking dead forward. But he was serious. And like, I could see out the corner of my eye. I was just like, oh my fucking God, he's serious. I thought he was just fucking with me. But, child, anyways. So Shock would ask me again, and I'd be like, maybe. And then it would kind of be dropped from there, just from my memory. I would say it'd be dropped. There's probably more and whatnot. Now, during this time, Shock liked somebody else already. What we gonna call her? We're gonna call her, should we call her that? No. We're gonna call her Cool. These names are so basic. Watch me forget them somehow. We're gonna call her Cool. Shock liked Cool. Shock liked Cool from a young age because they knew each other for like a long time. So Shock been liked her, right? Then afterwards, when he asked me that, it's like throughout 8th grade, it would kind of be like showing that he had some interest in like me liking him. I don't know if it was just like, oh, he was like happy that like somebody like liked him back or something like that, or he was genuinely interested in me. There was some weird ass moments, bro, between my mood swings and like, you know, just being angry and fucking. I was angry 8th grade. I was angry all fucking 8th grade. There was a moment where during, it's not recess, but it's kind of like when the bell rings just in between classes, or we would have a bit of like break and whatnot for like 20 minutes. Shock asked Cool if it was okay to go out with me in front of. Cool had so many friends. Oh my gosh, bro. Cool had so many friends that she was cool with. So that's why I named her. But he asked me in front, and like she went up with like her friends on the side. I was just like, it's a little posse, and I was just standing there. I was awkward. I wanted to throw up. I was just like, I don't give a fuck what direction I throw up, as long as I get to throw up. It was just uncomfortable, and it was weird. I thought it was a fever dream. I was just like, ain't no way he just asked this girl right in front of every friend that she has. I think the damn near half of the fucking school was there. That like whether or not he asked for permission. He asked for permission. It was so weird. Like it was so weird. Like I can't even discuss how weird it was to you. And then like she looked me dead in my face, and then she was just like, yeah, it's okay. I was like, what the fuck is this? Initiation? Am I being initiated in somewhere? So before like that whole weird thing happened, it was low key like, I don't know. I don't want to say flirting. It was kind of like we were the same, but something was definitely different. He seemed more interested, at least. It was so weird. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was very weird. Fast forwarding through middle school, mind y'all, I had a whole drama of myself and another person. I'm not even gonna name them in this one. I don't even know if I'm gonna do a story time on them ever, because if I'll be dead for real with you, we were both wrong in that situation. I was a bit more wrong though in that situation, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. I had that drama going on. Shock was going through something with his family to where I did not know enough, either because I did not ask. It's like I feel like I knew it was a sore subject, but I just didn't ask, or like I knew it was a sore subject or not. But B was with Shock, and Shock was like gone for some days and whatnot, and B was like asking where you at, and he was like telling Shock that like, hey, you're like a brother to me. I really want to know what's going on, what's been happening with you. I really care about you. I really care about what's going on to you. And I was worried. I was about to cry. I was just like, bitch, what's going on? Like, I was standing there shocked, because I was just like, oh my shit, I didn't know something really bad was gonna happen. Keep in mind, he been my friend since I got there, so I was just like, damn, I must be a shitty ass friend for not like knowing certain things. However, at the same time, I was told by SM there were certain things he purposely would not tell me. Like, even if I asked, he even told me later on, he was just like, even if you asked, he would, like, I wouldn't tell you, because of how I was. Like, you know, I was naive to certain things. Like, he even knew, like, I never went through anything like that, so I'll be a deer in headlights. So after that, the bell rang, we went up to like the stairs and whatnot to go to class. It's like his mood switched. I don't know how to explain it better than that. His mood switched. He was talking with me. Normally I'd be laughing and whatnot. We'd be joking like two fucking nerds. I can't. And then he was like singing and stuff like that. He was just like, you know, like singing about me liking him, but not just like, you want me for all like my sexiness. And I was just like, what? Why'd you include that? Because I was just like, that's not why I like you. Like, that was crazy. No, because there was a moment. I'm sorry, this is story time is so crazy. I know a little bit afterwards, there was a girl from my PE class. I'm not going to name her too. She's not really, she was only in there briefly. She was just like, oh yeah, I like your eyes. And I was just like, what's about his eyes? And then he was just like, you didn't know I had green eyes? Bitch, that's how I knew that I probably, like, I didn't crush on him. I just liked him. For me, it's a difference. Like, if I crush on you, like, it's mainly only for your appearance. Like you're literally my type of, like, crushing on you. Like, I literally cannot speak to you if you say, like, a word or a sentence to me. I will not be able to say a sentence to you, because I'm just, like, it's like your face is intimidating me with, like, the hotness. Like, I can't explain it. Like, I'm just like, ugh. But I really liked him for, like, you know, his personality, his, like, the common interest and whatnot, just how I felt around him, his aura. I liked him for his aura, right? So when it comes to his appearance and certain things, I did not notice he had green eyes, guys. Like, I did not notice. I felt like shit afterwards. He looked at me, like, with betrayal. I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, I did not notice this shit. Like, oh. Like, oh. Everybody, I checked the other strands of my hair. I realized I forgot all about it, and then I checked it for a moment. There's none other that are just unraveled, just that one. Surprise. So yeah, that's good. Anyway, we're gonna talk about, like, you know, after the eyes thing, that's when everybody started leaving, bro. Everyone started leaving. Okay, so we were amidst the, like, war I was going on with this drama with this other person. The year was ending and whatnot. Tell me why Shock left and he ain't say shit. Like, tell me why Shock left and he ain't say a fucking thing. I'm cursing a lot. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. Tell me why he left and he ain't say nothing. I had to learn this from B, who was also going to be leaving, but he ain't gonna say nothing either. I was like, why ain't y'all saying shit? Y'all know good and damn well that, like, you know, I don't have your numbers or I don't have your, like, socials and whatnot. Because back then, I'm gonna tell you how I was. Back then, I did not really call many people outside of school. I didn't hang out with too many people outside of school anyways. One, because a lot of times I wasn't allowed to. And two, some of the times I were allowed to, it's kind of like I wasn't on no texting or calling type shit. It's only like with like three people in my life, and they were my best friends, like previous best friend and my other two best friends. I really called and text. So with him, I never got his number, never knew he left. He still saw me at school, so I was just like, you could have told me, like, you ain't gonna say shit, bro. B told me, but then B left, and then our other friend, what I'm gonna call him? I'm gonna call the third one, who is also our friend, Hoodie. I didn't mention him as much though. I wish I did. I don't know why I didn't. I'm calling him Hoodie because I can't remember this dude without a hoodie or jacket on. I really cannot. He's never worn just a regular t-shirt before, so I'm gonna just call him Hoodie. Man, Hoodie left too. I was like, where the fuck? Y'all are my only. They weren't my only guy friends. They were my only guy friends I felt really close to. Like, they were like damn near fucking family to me, like siblings and whatnot. Like, bro, they were gone. They ain't say nothing. I was so fucking mad. Anyways, so my best guy friends left. I'm still in a war with the next best friend. And my new friends and whatnot, I've been acting iffy because my emotions have been out of whack. So I'm just being not too good of a person at this moment, right? Fast forward 2 years. 2 years later, I mean, update, you know, I'm finally getting over myself. I'm being better. Some habits I still have, but like, yeah. Tell me why Shock came back out of nowhere. Because SM told me, like, I think SM told me through another group, like, that he was coming back or whatnot. It was just, like, kind of a rumor. Tell me why he actually did come back. And he looked the same. Like, he looked the same. I've always been short, right? We were both basically the same height. He was a little taller, though. I'm not even gonna hold you. He was a little taller. But he came back. When I tell you, I was just, like, shocked. And, like, I came up to him. Dramatic type shit, like, what the fuck is this, anime? I hugged him, like, full blown hugged him, right? And he looked weirded out. He was just like, hey, like, and I was over here, I didn't think nothing of it at the time, like, I didn't want to. I was just like, I'm so glad you're back, like, bro. And he was just like, thanks. And he was still looking fucking weirded out. Me looking back at that shit irritated the fuck out of me. I was your best friend, like, we were great friends, bro. We were great friends, and before I liked you, I appreciated you as a friend. So why the fuck are you acting weird when I, like, welcome you with open arms and some shit like that? Like, bro, I never forgot about you. I'm still happy that you came back, like, because I ain't never got a goodbye. So what the fuck? Like, I can't. And can't nobody be on some, you were doing too much, bro. No, the fuck I wasn't. He was my first friend there when I moved. Like, one of my first close friends there when I moved there, bro. So don't act like I'm being too much or some shit like that. So yes, okay. So coming back, like, he was happy, whatnot, and he was happy to see SM again and everybody else, and the other group of friends as well too that were also from middle school. He got to see them again. He got to see Cool again, which he was very happy. By the way, like, I noticed his face. I don't know if I was just jealous or tripping and what. I was just like, I noticed that he really happy to see Cool again. There were some moments in middle school I kind of left out that I could have included, but they're not that important right now. I know this is 19 minutes. This is a long one, so bear with me. I'm sorry. Throughout this, we went through the same program. I'm not going to say the specific program, right? But it includes a uniform. There's so many probably like that in high school, but yeah. Throughout this, he was in a different class than, like, all the other friends. My other friends went through it as well, the same program. And it was actually pretty cool. My mom was worried about me going through this one because of how rough it was when she was in it. But it was really cool and whatnot. I was just like, oh yeah, this is fun and whatnot. Something happened in the year to where, like, you know, this was 9th grade we went through it. So I didn't even know he went through that program, right? Like, I was in it since 9th grade. 10th grade came around. He was in a different class. He came to our class. And when I tell you, the energy was so off. This is the beginning of when things started going downhill. Okay. He was in it. He was real cool. At first at least. And he knew our other friend. What am I gonna call our other friend? So many friends in this one. Damn. We're gonna call her Cut because of her hairstyle, bro. But yes, Cut and him and I were in the class, like, oh, bad grammar, whatever. It was really cool. And then it started getting weird. There was a time where in another class period, I had to go to Shock's class and whatnot because our class, we didn't have our teacher, and our like substitute teacher didn't come in, so we had to go during like after lunch and whatnot. I had a cup full of some slushy and whatnot. I did not know if we could eat or drink in that class. They were doing a test at the time, so I was feeling really nervous. I didn't know they were doing a test, so I was about to ask. I was about to poke and be like, "Hey, am I supposed to eat in here? Like, am I supposed to sit this in here? Like, is this? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing?" But then the teacher would have already said, like, "Hey, you can finish that up. Like, get your little things in and then throw it away." Teachers would normally do that, like, or at least some would. Some would just be quiet. Like, bitch, like, I can't. But y'all, anyways, afterwards, we came back to that program. I asked him, like, were we supposed to be eating in there? And he was just like, "No, but I know you usually, would like that." He said something along the lines of that, right? Guys, girls, everyone in the vicinity, everyone across the screen, he has never referenced to my weight before. I was a bigger girl all my life, basically. He met me as a big girl. Like, he met me as that, right? When I tell you, I do not have any recollection of him ever referencing to my fucking weight. I have no moment where he referenced to my weight. This was the first time, right? And most of y'all be like, that's not referencing to your weight. That's not the exact words he said. How he said it and how he looked at me, like he damn near looked up and down at me, I was just like, what? It took me aback. I was just like, huh? What the fuck? First time. Strike number 1. Because he ain't never did that shit before, so I don't know why the fuck he doing it now. Strike number 2 is what happened with him and Cut. Now, a lot of those people in that program, they went to that program to become better and whatnot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they stayed the same. They really just did that to have something extra to do and whatnot. And so, yeah. So there was one time with, like, Cut. She was upset about something and whatnot. She was crying. He was peer pressuring her to get, like, what was wrong with her out of it, right? Keep in mind, back in 8th grade, something very similar happened like this, bro. But his situation was coming with a family situation. B was trying to, Hoodie was there too. They were all trying to, like, convince him, like, hey, what's going on with you? What's really, and like B was talking about how he really cared for him. Hoodie was chiming in. I was also chiming in. All that stuff like that. This situation was nothing like that. He was very self-centered when he explained what was going on. Like, after basically asking her only a few times, and then I sat in the seat in front of Cut and whatnot. Oh, I thought I almost said the name. I sat in the seat in front of Cut and was just like, hey, what's going on? You okay? And then she was just like, yeah, that's just like, kind of just out of it and whatnot. Shock started talking about himself. He started talking about himself, talking about, yeah, I thought it was a problem with me or something like that. Like, but anyway, this is what happened in that class. Cut looked to the, like, how she was seated, like, he was to the left of her in her direction. Cut looked to the left just like Cut looked so done. Like, I was just like, who the fuck is this dude? But who the fuck, like, who was he to be doing that shit? Like, Cut looked weirded the fuck out from my memory. This is all from my memory, by the way. Sometimes I want to say sometimes my memory ain't accurate, but since this affected, like, me, like, irritated me so much, it's gonna be accurate. Like, that's the thing. Don't take it as my other videos. But I'm gonna try to make this thing 30 minutes and whatnot. So anyways, that's when I started noticing, like, why are you making this situation about you? Like, why is this situation now about you and stuff like that? Some people would be like, that's not so self-centered or whatnot. That's not this. I'm gonna wait for later on, okay? That's when it really showed. This was just strike 2, bro. Strike 3, we had a moment where in our program we do, like, I don't want to say our program stuff. We do little activities and whatnot. And we hone our skills in those activities. And we have to remember all of the list of things we're supposed to do in that order when it comes to the activity, right? After I did my list of things, I remembered everything. It's just that I was still very hesitant. And some of the, like, work when it comes to the activities, like the way you stand or the way that you position yourself, I had it in the wrong beats. We do it in certain beats and whatnot. My like one of the leaders and whatnot, they were trying to tell me about like, oh my gosh, like they were trying to warn me about like certain like positions and whatnot. Why did he come up? Keep in mind, he is the same. This teacher is smaller than us. Like they're shorter than us, slightly, right? When he came up, right, I did not know why. I thought he was just trying to talk to me or whatnot. Shock interrupted the fucking teacher, bro, just to try to tell me how wrong I was in the whole thing, bro. Shock came up to me and was just like, yeah, so really you were doing, he interrupted the fuck out of her. And the way she looked like, like this the second time somebody looked at you like, who the fuck are you type face? Like, what the fuck you doing type face? This the second time, bro, and you just not noticing the shit. Like, what is going on with you, right? And I was so mad because it was embarrassing. Like, why the fuck did you come up to try to tell me how wrong I was? Like, the teacher was already letting me know in a more constructive criticism type of way. You just came up to be on some type of shit, and I was not really with it. So, anyways, walking back to the class, I was mad as fuck. Like, I haven't been mad like that in a while. This is 10th grade, mind you. Like, this was 2 years after 8th grade where I was mad almost every fucking day in 8th grade. I haven't been so mad like that in so long. And, like, for him to do that, I was just like, you're done. You're literally cut. You're done. So we were walking back and he was just yapping in my fucking ear, bro. Like, yapping in my ear, trying to see what's wrong. I was ignoring him. Then we walked back into the class and I just had enough. And I screamed in his face, just like, you don't do that. Like, I don't know if I said those exact words, but I was just like, you don't do that. I screamed dead in his face, right? Dead in his fucking face. It was actually pretty loud, though. I was just really mad. And then we sat back in the seat. He kind of looked back at me with, like, puppy dog face. But I was just over the shit. I was just like, bro, don't fucking look at me, like, in my face. Like, why'd I say in my face? In my head, I was just like, bro, don't fucking look at me. Afterwards, he tried to talk to me. I ignored him, bro. See, that's the thing is, when... I have gone into my era of just like, if you disrespect, that's how I am, like, basically now, not even a little bit, basically now, you disrespect me, you do any type of way, because I have been middle school disrespected, I've been talked down to, people rude as fuck to me for nothing, for, like, all I do is breathe and whatnot. I've been so sick and tired of fucking strangers like that, and then once, like, people who I was close to, once they tried me with that shit, I was just like, this is, it's over with. You're nothing to me now. Like, or not nothing, you're just not something to me. Like, this thing's like, you're just not something to me. So I ignored him for a while, right? Fast forwarding to when it came to this program, they were celebrating something, and like everybody that was part of the program, they got to go to it, right? This is strike 4, and it was out of here, bro. This is strike 4, right? Bro, I was with SM and our other friend. What we gonna call our other friend, bitch? Oh, we gonna call him Twerk. No, she'll be. Yeah, we gonna call him Twerk. I was with SM and Twerk, right? And we were all part of this program or whatnot. And we were just really lackadaisically. We were cool. It was so fun, bro. I love them so much. I love them so much. I love both of them so much. They're really cool. I still love them to this day. But child, anyways. Tell me why when it came to, like, you know, Shock coming up, I almost said the name, Shock coming up, right? He ain't had no table to go to, so he saw us and immediately thought about sitting down, right? Tell me why he sat right next to me. Tell me why I was being nice. I was trying to be cordial, I was trying to be nice, because I was just like, this is a celebratory event. Like, you know, we ain't no need to, like, be angry and whatnot or all like that, right? Tell me why he tried to embarrass me by bringing up the fact that I used to like him in fucking middle school. No! Tell me why he tried to fucking embarrass me right in front of my 2 close friends, bro. They looked so uncomfortable, bro. Twerk was just looking away. SM was kind of looking like cringing and all that, like, all that shit, bro. And he looked me dead in my eyes saying that shit. Dead in my fucking eyes saying that shit. Bro, when I tell you, after that, it was so fucking uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. And the way it was set up, Shock was was he to the right of me? I feel like either or right or left, whatnot, it still happened. Shock was either to the right or left of me, right? He was talking to SM, whatnot. And after that embarrassing moment, because I think he was trying to be like, yeah, you remember that when she used to like me, whatnot? He spilled fucking tea on my uniform. Keep in mind, it was mostly on my uniform, but it was also on SM's uniform. Tell me why he ain't apologized at all when he did that shit. I think he only apologized to SM and not me. Even though it was my tea, by the way. It was my fucking tea. Most of it was on my leg, bro. On my leg. It was on SM leg too. And he laughed. He laughed. And bro, some of y'all just thinking like, oh, that it ain't that fucking serious. This outfit, this uniform, I'm gonna be dead for real with you. It was $300 or $400 plus dollars. I hadn't had a job at this time. I did not have a job. I have never had $300 or $400 in my possession at one time before in my life. Okay? I have never had that, right? Shit. So I was mad worried, right? Because I did not know how long this celebratory event was gonna be. So I was just like, the longer it's setting in, the more this, that, and third. I was just like, is it gonna stain? Is it gonna smell really bad? Is it gonna? I don't want to mistake it for saying mildew or mold or whatnot. I don't know, but it's something like, is this bad? But even if it didn't do all that, it still was very embarrassing. Not only do you try to embarrass me by being like, oh yeah, they used to like me, you try to also, you don't even apologize when you do shit like that. So I was just like, bro, this is so. I was so mad. That's how I knew I was fucking livid. I just knew I was livid. My type of like anger, like a lot of times when I got really angry, I like it would go into like crying, but I would still be really fucking mad. I was livid. I couldn't even, when I got home, I couldn't cry it off. I could not cry my anger off. I literally just wanted to go back and slam this dude's face into the fucking table. I knew I would never do that. This is a celebratory event. I would get into more trouble no matter what happened. But that whole thing was just so uncomfortable. I was so upset. It was so uncomfortable. It was cold. It was my sweet tea, bitch. And like I was like, how dare you, bro? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I can't. But child, oh, I was just so. It was just so not cool, bro. It was so not cool. Yeah, you know, after that, or is it after that? Like, you know, I just kept ignoring him. Sorry, this is gonna be the outro kind of. After that, I basically went back to ignoring him. In 12th grade, I saw him again in like a different type of uniform for the program. I didn't even know he was still in it. And I didn't register it was him. He had gotten a little bit taller. It must have been just the shoes or whatnot. I didn't register it was him until I truly looked. Because, like, as we were going up the stairs, the way it was, he was, like, right here. And I was, like, coming up, too. And he kind of just looked at me. And it was, like, it lingered for a while. And I couldn't register who the fuck it was. Until I was just like, oh, shit, that's Shock. And I was looking at the back of his head more. I was just like, that definitely is Shock. And, like, he didn't say a word to me. And I was so fucking happy. I was just like, shit, because I ain't had no word to say to him, bro. That shit made me so comfortable. I went back to ignoring him like the plague. I'm like, and this is not to say like, oh, I'm proud of it. Like, it was very upsetting. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, you know, and the thing about it was, I was warned about it. I was warned. I was naive. He purposely left out things, like, you know, about his life because of the fact that he knew, like, I would not know how to take it. I would not know how to handle it. I was very emotional too, by the way. So I was just like, I understand that. But even my best friend, T, bro, who I was not friends with longer than him. I was friends with Shock longer than T, bro. T told me what happened with her situation, and even though at first I was like a dumbass with it, I got better at, like, you know, hearing about it and, like, you know, really listening. Not just hearing so that I could talk, like, after they're finished, but to really listen to what they're saying. Like, I got better with it, right? But he ain't know all that. I don't think I told, because that it's none of his business, like, you know, what I say or what T tells me or whatnot. So I guess he didn't know that. But yeah, like, you know, there was a after credit, this is a long ass outro. There was a moment where at a dance and whatnot, like, he was in a big dilemma. He was friends with another person. If I named them, I think did the boy have freckles? Should I name them short hair? No. I'm gonna just say Freckles, right? He had a nice smile. He was dating Cool, right? Or he was at the dance with Cool, right? Shock was so upset, bro. It was a whole moment, bro. He sat by himself. He was just so upset and whatnot. And so there was a moment where, like, Cool was trying to look and see, like, oh, what's wrong with Shock? And then I kind of like was standing in front of Cool, and I was just like, Shock has always liked you. And like the way Cool looked like she already knew. Like she looked like it was kind of just like a resigned sigh. Like it looked like she was letting out a big sigh, not out of relief, out of like, oh, here we go again. And I was like, damn, at a school dance, we're really this dramatic. Is this high school fucking musical? Nigga, like, why is everything so dramatic? There's no musical, but it's just, what's the tea? What's the drama? Like, but no, I was just like, bro, that was a moment right there. But yes, this was my first story time, bro. I don't know if I like kept it as entertaining to you as I tried to. I barely did my fucking hair. I don't even know why I said I would. Cuz I didn't have much to do with it. And I mostly been looking to this side right here. I can not to the camera. I was looking at this side and whatnot. So yes, but comment down what you believe and whatnot. I'm gonna look back on this and be like, oh shit, I hope I didn't say the names and whatnot. But yes, this was A-List. Welcome to my channel again. And if you already been here, bitch, I really ride for you. Like, you like, you know how I say Gandalf is that dude, or how Gandalf is that guy? Y'all all them people, bro. Y'all all them people, bro. Like, it's not even just that dude, that guy no more. You're all them people, bro. I love you for that. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And may peace be with you for an eternity.